an app called Augment, and it uses a QR code to launch a 3D model, and it actually exists. The QR code's only alive for 24 hours. So in the posters that I actually developed, the QR codes no longer work. So anyway, never mind. So I'm here to talk about augmented reality, or what we did with augmented reality, and to give you a little bit of a background. It came to me about 18 months ago, 15 months ago, when I saw some augmented reality stuff happening on YouTube for the TEDx presentations, and also having a bit of a search around and finding things were happening in this space that were quite interesting. And I came to it from an educational perspective and thought, why not give it a crack and see what we can do with it and play with it. We have a language day here at King's, and it's essentially about boys being exposed to the languages that we teach at the school: French, Chinese and German. And it's a whole day where boys interact with, set up things, classrooms, in the library with demonstrations. They sell food and buy food from the culture. So it's a really good day, a fun day for the kids to get involved in. Originally, with the augmented reality, I wanted it to be a library concept. And then the head of languages came to me and spoke to me about the Languages Day, and could we trial the idea with augmented reality with languages. And so we essentially set up 3 stations: a French, a German and a Chinese station, where the boys could come to and interact with, using iPads, interact with 3D models of buildings that are significant in those countries, and also read a little bit about, in a poster that I created, getting some information from Wikipedia, because I'm a bit of a thief in that respect. And so the stations were set up, and the boys could interact with video as well as with a 3D model. That's just an example there. In fact, I'll bring up an example on the screen that you can see of one of the images or posters. And this is just an example. Can you see that all right? Yeah. Okay, so that's just an example of an Erasmus image, and then hopefully, yep. So that was for the Augment. So we used Erasmus for video and Augment for 3D modelling. So the main objective, of course, is that up there, boys explore languages, study TKS and mix, and expose several aspects of each of these cultures. Nice and simple and straightforward, as a way of testing this technology. So we had the poster and a book display, and as I just said, Erasmus and Augment. So I'll just show you a bit of a video as to what happened. First I'll show an introduction video, and then I'll run through a couple of boys who spoke about their experience with the augmented reality.
That I've overlaid in real life. So there's no video there.
Ah, okay.
So I've just...
So this uses photo recognition software to recognise
Yeah, or I can look here at the Brandenburg Gates in Augment, scan the actual object. Let's just exit out of that. Scan the actual barcode. So it's just scanning the barcode, trying to work out what it is.
You can't scan books,
So there's the 3D model. There's the 3D model. I can work out what exactly I'm looking at. I can spin it around.
Okay, so that was that. And essentially it is just as easy as downloading the apps, creating accounts with those companies online, and creating trigger images and a bit of video. So there's a bit of toing and froing and carrying on. And then once you've set up, create your posters, get your Erasmus app working, and then when you have the posters set up around your classroom or in your library or whatever, it's just a matter of then scanning it across, and it happens relatively quickly, or should it? So that's not too bad, and then obviously the Augment is a little bit different. It reads a QR code, scan it in. Hopefully this will work nice and quick. I'll just hit that in. And there it is there. These models were all taken, borrowed from Google SketchUp. And so the video was also given to me by the head of languages to sort of play around with. The things that I found that were necessary, we needed to make sure that the images and video loaded very quickly. Otherwise the boys sitting there holding a pad get a little bit lost and off the track a little bit, which was a good learning opportunity. I'll just play one video of what the boys thought about the whole experience, and then I'll talk about what we're going to do in the future, fingers crossed, and we'll go from there.
When you interacted with the 3D models, what did you think about the 3D models?
It was really amazing when I first used it. Like, I started with the architrails and placed it on the table and looked like a real model, and just in the small scale.
And what about when you put the smart tablet over the Orasma posters?
It was amazing. It was like when you look at the poster, it was just a normal picture, but then when you looked on the iPad, it made it look like a TV screen.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Like the kids became instantly engaged with the content. So I just found it pretty fascinating actually. And it was a good opportunity, learning opportunity for us. So into the future, I'm hopeful. I think that looks pretty cool. Oops. And that looks pretty cool too. That not so cool. But if you can imagine a library of books where we could talk with the librarians about advertising must-reads, or even dividing up the library itself into areas where the boys can actually, they know which areas to target when they're researching. And this concept, the idea around the classroom or even around the school, to talk about different aspects of the school itself that boys can then engage with in a nice, quiet, passive way, should they feel the need to. So for 2014, we're hopeful of developing our own augmented reality app that's used at King's, using either the Orasma SDK or layer or something similar, and then handing it out to the boys so they can then start to engage with content that either boys have produced themselves or our teachers are starting to produce for desktop publishing or even posters or beyond. Thank you.